Sabalenka wants rematch of Battle of Sexes, Showdown vs Kyrgios. I love revenge. Sabalenka said she would like to get revenge on Kyrgios after losing 6-3, 6-3 in the Battle of Sexes event in Dubai. World top-ranked women's player Belarus Aryna Sabalenka said she wants a rematch of her Battle of the Sexes exhibition game against Australia's Nick Kyrgios. I think I would definitely do it again, said Sabalenka ahead of the Brisbane International, her season-opening tournament as the world #1 prepares for the Australian Open, which starts from January 18th. Sabalenka said she would like to get revenge on Kyrgios after losing 6-3, 6-3 in the Battle of Sexes event in Dubai. I love revenge and I don't like to leave it the way it is. The Battle of Sexes event modified the typical rules of tennis that divided the fans. Sabalenka's side of the court was reduced in size by 9% in an attempt to restrict Kyrgios' power and speed advantage, while each player only received one serve. Sabalenka also said she would want a full court and 2 serves this time. I think for the next match we will come up with a different format. Before the match I didn't realize I would have to adjust and it was a bit tricky for me. I think I would keep the full court but I would take 2 serves. That would even our level a lot more, she said. I always say that when you are losing, you are learning and I learned a lot about his game. I would do it again. I need revenge, she added. The Sabalenka-Kyrgios showdown faced backlash, with some calling it a money grab, while others said it did little to promote the women's game. But Sabalenka felt that the exhibition tennis game was important. I think it's really important for tennis to keep it interesting, keep it fresh, keep it new, keep it fun, she said. I am happy that I was able to challenge him, make him work and make him physically get tired and mentally get tired. I felt really excited to see a man getting tired and going for his full game. It was a really cool experience, added Sabalenka. The phrase Battle of the Sexes carries a long shadow in sport. It evokes spectacle, argument, theater, and the fragile border between competition and culture war. When Aryna Sabalenka says she wants a rematch against Nick Kyrgios and adds, with a grin sharp enough to cut glass, I love revenge, she is not just talking about tennis. She is summoning that shadow, and daring it to step back onto the court. This is not about settling a score with one man. It is about settling an idea. Sabalenka has never been subtle. Her tennis is loud, the crack of her serve, the violence of her forehand, the roar that escapes her chest when she wins a point that matters. She plays as if silence is the enemy. Kyrgios, in his own way, does the same, provocative, unpredictable, brilliant one moment and self-sabotaging the next. Put them on opposite sides of a net and sparks are inevitable. Not because of gender, but because of personality. 2 forces that refuse to be tamed. The first Battle of the Sexes in tennis history was framed as a referendum. Could a woman beat a man? Was women's tennis legitimate? Did power equal worth? Decades later, those questions feel outdated, even embarrassing. Women's tennis has proven itself across every metric that matters: skill, athleticism, mental toughness, global appeal. And yet, the fascination remains. Not because the answer is still unknown, but because society loves a mirror, and sport reflects us better than almost anything else. A Sabalenka-Kyrgios rematch would not be a referendum. It would be a performance. Sabalenka's call for revenge is compelling precisely because it refuses to apologize. Too often, confidence in women is framed as arrogance, emotion as instability, ambition as attitude. Sabalenka rejects all of that. She does not soften her words to make them easier to digest. I love revenge is not a threat, it is a declaration of competitive honesty. Athletes are driven by memory. Loss lingers longer than victory. The desire to rewrite a moment, to walk back onto the same stage and change the ending, is the fuel of greatness. Revenge, in this context, is not bitterness. It is curiosity sharpened into intent. What happens if I try again? What if I adjust? What if I'm better this time? Kyrgios, of course, would welcome it. He thrives in chaos, in moments where the crowd buzzes with expectation and controversy. A rematch would give him what he loves most, attention wrapped in unpredictability. But it would also demand something from him. Against Sabalenka, He would not be playing a caricature or a symbolic opponent. He would be facing an athlete who hits with relentless force, who does not back down, who does not flinch when challenged. That is a mirror many competitors avoid. What makes this hypothetical showdown fascinating is not the outcome, but the conversation it would force us to confront, again, but differently. Not, can she, but, why do we still ask? Not, who is stronger, but what does strength look like now? Tennis has evolved. Training, technology, and athleticism have narrowed gaps and redrawn boundaries. Mixed doubles already shows us cooperation instead of confrontation. A Sabalenka-Kyrgios match would flip that script. Not harmony, but collision. And collisions reveal truth. Sabalenka's truth is that she belongs anywhere competition exists. She does not need protective framing or historical footnotes. She does not want to be the exception, she wants to be the standard. Her desire for a rematch is not about proving women's tennis. It's about proving herself, on her terms, in a space where excuses are stripped away. There is also something refreshingly human in her words. I love revenge is not polished PR language. It is raw, almost playful, tinged with humor and fire. It reminds us that athletes are not morality tales, they are competitors. They remember slights, missed chances, moments where the balance tipped the wrong way. Wanting another shot is not insecurity, it is belief. Belief that the story is not finished. If such a rematch were to happen, the court would become a stage, and the audience would bring its baggage. Some would come hoping to see tradition upheld, others hoping to see it shattered. Some would cheer power, others precision. Some would watch Kyrgios for the drama, Sabalenka for the dominance. But the most important thing would be this. For a few hours, the conversation would not be theoretical. It would be real, physical, undeniable. And that is where Sabalenka thrives. She thrives when the ball is coming fast and the margin for error is thin. When there is no time to hesitate, only to commit. Revenge, after all, is not about anger, it is about commitment. To improvement. To fearlessness. To stepping back into the fire because you believe you can control it this time. Whether the rematch ever happens almost doesn't matter. The idea alone tells us something essential about Sabalenka. She is not content with her place, she wants to test its boundaries. She does not shy away from spectacle, she reshapes it. And she understands, instinctively, that the most powerful answer to doubt is not argument, but action. I love revenge, she says. In a sport built on second serves and second chances, that might be the most honest line of all.